Yo, what's popping? So taking a look at the Hangzhou Spark, the second team or second seed in APAC with 11 points, a 9-3 record, and a plus 15 map differential, so pretty damn good. The roster being Gushue, Architect, Shy, Ligue, Bernard, Pineapple, Alpha E, Irony, and Super Rich. With Architect just not being on the roster, just ignore him completely. Ligue is on a two-way contract with Billy Gaming, so he came in to play like a single map, pretty much just ignore him too. And Pineapple is never getting any gameplay beside Shy. It's just not going to happen. Maybe if there's some weird double hit scan meta and Alpha E is on the bench and the Hanzo's not as good, maybe, but Alpha E's just been so good. I don't see Pineapple playing almost at all. And then you have Iron and Super Rich, very solid backline. I was actually very impressed by their tournament showing. They are probably the weakest link on this team, but I don't think it's actually a very weak link. They're average at worst, right? So, you can't really knock them that much. Like, sure, they're no shoe. They're no like Vin Dame, nothing like that. But they're gonna get the job done. They played pretty well. And then Shy, probably best hit scan in the league. It definitely has an argument at least. And Alfie has been a phenomenal rookie. Arguably maybe the most potent DPS line in the league. There's a pretty good argument that they are the strongest together. And then Gushue, great performance. They've kind of fixed his problems where he would come in and he wouldn't be able to get any map wins. And then they were even thinking, oh, we'll just play Bernard on defense at times last stage. It wasn't there. So they fixed that. No problems with that there. And then Bernard's been super flexible playing the Wrecking Ball. That looks pretty good. The Doomfist if he has to, which he tried like 1 week, I think. And other than that, the Sigma's been solid, right? But mostly the Wrecking Ball Sigma from Bernard is what we've seen. And he's been great on it, with Gushue giving that tank line a little extra punch when he needs to come in on Dorado or Gibraltar or whatever it is. But yeah, so very solid. And they had a very good tournament, right? Because in winners round 1, they beat their arch nemesis, the Philadelphia Fusion 3-1. Winners quarterfinals, they roll Seoul Dynasty 3-0, who they were for sure the underdogs, so we're probably the favorite in the tournament. Them are Gladiators, right? So that was a big surprise. And then winners semifinal, they lose to the Gladiators 3-2 in a phenomenal game. Probably my favorite of the tournament. Just very good Overwatch between both sides. You got to see really like why the Gladiators are so good, with Shu doing so much. And despite like getting no real help, his ability to live and get value even if he does die, which he does die often, but he gets the nades off, he gets the sleeps off, and he lets his team win it like that. And then they drop down into the losers quarterfinal, so top 6, and they lose to the Philadelphia Fusion again. But it's, that's just how it goes. It's always going to be a good matchup, and it's like 50-50 whoever's taking that. Philly has looked better most of the time, and they weren't better in the winners, but the winners doesn't matter if you're meeting the losers. So very good there. But that Gladiators game was probably you could argue was their toughest matchup. Yeah, they lost the Shock, but it looked like really, really close. I guess the Shock one was closer. They lost it. It kind of has to be. But that was number 2, I think. And I thought Spark were going to take it all the way, for sure. But not quite able to. So looking at their schedule, we see they play Seoul, Shanghai week 16, Chengdu, Valiant week 17, and then Charge, Fusion week 18. Getting Shanghai early is good. Getting Seoul early, they might be looking for some revenge there. I don't know. But there's no good time to get Seoul. Chengdu, sure. Valiant's in a okay spot too. Getting Charge at the end is kind of rough because there'll be a better team at the end than the beginning once they get more playtime together and all that. And yeah, sure, a third of the team, or like, I guess, what is it, 30%, 60% of the team played together, but like, it's not the same because Choice A1 is still the star, so they'll have to work off him and all that. And then they play Fusion at the end, which that's good, I guess. Sure, put it at the end. 50-50 at the end, sure, why not? But I can't see worse than a 5. Well, okay, they could lose the Soul, right? Depending on how they look pretty bad at the start of this meta. That's how they lost their 2 games this last stage. So they could lose to like Seoul, they could lose to Shanghai, they could lose to anyone's APAC. But I'd say 4-2 at worst, just because of how good of a team they've been consistently. And even though they had a relatively bad stage last stage in the qualifiers, they still came out 4-2 because they should be Valiant. I still think they should be charged. Philly's a heads or tails, and it should be Chengdu probably. Something like maybe you lose to Shanghai, but I don't think you do there either. So I don't know, decent, but yeah, very good run from the Spark overall. Better than most people give them credit for, and that's probably because of how poor their kickoff Clash tournament was, because they just flopped it, right? They showed that they can actually make a somewhat deep run. Like top 6 is nothing bad, right? Better than half the other teams in the tournament. So they've kind of shown, yeah, they can actually do something. It's just a matter of whether they're actually going to be able to push into and be the best team in their region. And right now it was Philly taking it ahead of them. I think they're a better team than Philly overall, but they have to beat Philly more than likely to actually win the tournament next stage. So they'll have to do that. We'll see. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on the Spark down below. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe for more daily Overwatch League content. Thanks so much for watching and have yourself a good one. Deuces.